everybody, I'm Sol, I'm a geek and I'm Hispanic, and today I'll be talking about, not a big film, I don't know if you've heard about it, The Incredibles 2. So, don't worry, the first part won't have spoilers, but later on I will, but I'll let you know, don't worry. As you can see by my intro, I thought it was totally wicked, which means I actually loved it. I even going to say I like it more than the first one. I know, crazy statement. Some people might disagree with me, and that's fine. That's completely fine. I like the first one, but I didn't love the first one. I did love this one. It has some problems though, this one. This is not a perfect film. I don't give it a 10 out of 10. You'll know my score later on. So the first thing I want to talk about that I love was the great balance between heart and action. The first one did an amazing job with this one, but this one got it to a different level. Why, you must say? Because every character now has an arc, has a reason. Each character is there. They have something to bring to the table. Their struggles, they go through things, and you just get to know them more compared to the first one. And there's so much heart in this one. Like when Bob stays at home, he's dealing with all these kids. There's so much heart in it, and it's just more relatable, I would find it. And I thought it was great. Now the action with Elastigirl, it was phenomenal, so great. Like some scenes, I was like, this is like one of the best action scenes I've ever seen. Like it was so, and I'm not much of like superhero or action person. Like I find those things boring, but this one was like so creatively done, and I love it. One thing about the story I would say is it is very, 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 very predictable. So my big problem with it, I would have liked it to be more like, Hans from Frozen. It's like, oh, I did not expect that, what? But this one's very predictable, and that goes to the villain. The villain was very weak compared to Syndrome. And it's not that I did not like this villain. I thought the idea in it and really cool, but I just didn't feel there was stake here. I didn't feel there was threatened. I didn't feel like this villain made me scared, or I was like, ooh, how are things gonna turn out now? I just felt the villain was overall weak. I'm gonna talk about the humor. The humor is so great. I think it's way more funny than the first one. There's just more gags, but it's funny though, because this one is also more serious than the first one, I think, at times. That, there's the last girls having this conversation with this another superhero. It's something about like economics or politics or something like that. And like kids probably were lost at that moment. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like it just felt more serious. And going with that, this is the first animated film that I have ever watched that it felt like it was shot like a live action film. The cinematography of this was beyond amazing. Like you're watching it, especially the first scene, it's done in such a different way, and it's just the tone of it, it's very different, and I'm so here for it. I was like, this feels so sophisticated and awesome, and I just love the execution of everything. The first scene, I was like, this is so different from anything I've seen from Pixar before, and it was really, 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 really cool. With a lot of people saying that the last third was a bit like weaker than the first 2/3, and I get that, but overall I thought it was so much fun. And now I want to talk about the animation. Wow, we're really seeing a big difference in those 14 years, huh? If you watch the first one and you're like, Tony looks so weird, and now you watch this one and like, he looks completely different in this one. But I love the design of everyone, because I think they did a great job with staying with the feel of the first one, but just the animation is just way better. Like Edna Mode's clothes, oh my gosh, I could like feel the silk. It was beautiful, and all the small details from everything was, and the architecture of the house, it was just so cool. And the action scenes, it was just so innovative, the way it was animated. The animation's Pixar's one of their best jobs by far. Something I want to mention, there's this other YouTuber, her name is Grace from Beyond the Trailer, I recommend her channel. She was saying that this film should have more diversity, and you know what, I completely agree, because she was saying, for example, the character Boyd didn't have to be necessarily white. We have the main family that is white, and the only non-white person we have is Frozen. That's it. And we're in 2018, we could have had more. We could have had an Asian person, a Hispanic person, any other ethnicity, that kind of really disappointed me at times when they just come and greet the superheroes. I'm like, that's it? really? What do you think about that? Leave that in the section down below. Also, so I give this film a, right now I'm thinking 8.5 out of 10, but not a 10. I'm going to show more why in my spoiler part, but I'm between 8.5 and 9. Now we get to spoiler territory. If you have not seen the film, please step back, go see the film, and then come back and we'll talk about it. Thank you though. So we get to see some great characters again. Frozen, he's way more in this film than the first one, and he's just great. He's great. Edna Mode, although I think she's way more funny in the first one, so that's like a bit disappointing. She has some really cute moments. One of my favorite moments was when Jack is like walking with Edna and he's copying her. That was one of my favorite gags of the entire film. So much fun. Some things that kind of annoyed me was, again, I mentioned that briefly, but Bob's attitude. He was like so jealous of Elastigirl. I was like, you're his husband, let her be happy, don't be so selfish. Like, he became really selfish at times, and that kind of bothered me. But at times I was like, okay, this could have happened in the 60s, you know, because the way there was not much equality back then, like there's more now. So I was like, okay, I appreciate that this is different, but he was annoying at times. The villain, like, she was cool. I said she, yes, it's Evelyn Dever. Like, I feel like Pixar like even wanted us to know before, like, because the name was so clear, Evil Endeavor. Exactly. So I feel like they wanted us to know, but why though? It would have been so cool to have a plot. Maybe he was like, I don't care much about like the plot, it's more of like the journey, whatever. But I don't know, this, I love how smart she was, I love that, but just she didn't wow me. It's not, I feel like one of my favorite villains ever is from DreamWorks, the peacock from Kung Fu Panda 2. The villain was like scary and threatening, and this one, I don't know, I just didn't feel it. And even the why she decides to do this, like, I didn't even get it either. I didn't feel it was strong enough. I sometimes feel like Jack was getting too much attention at times and not the rest, which that was a pity. I was like, oh, let's go, like, he's super funny, but let's go with the other ones. Dash at times, like, they did the gag with the control remotes like too much. Like, for the time it was funny, but by the third one, it's like, let's stop. We didn't see Honey, but we heard her like from the trailer. That was it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna, maybe we have a third one and we'll see her. You guys want a third one? I really want a third one, but will it happen? Most likely not. Ratbird, what are you doing this? People want this. I feel so bad for Violet when the memory like from Tony disappears. It's like, why? But it was so sad and I felt so bad for her. But the scene when like she spills the water, I was like laughing so much. I thought it was so funny. Also, when the movie started, everyone started clapping, and it's something that hasn't happened to me in such a long time in a film. I was like, this is awesome. People were like laughing so much. It was such a cool experience. One of my favorite moments was when Elastigirl goes to like find Screenslaver, because it got scary and kind of like suspenseful, and I was like, it's gonna show up any minute. And when she puts her hand on everything, you can see Screenslaver on this side. That was scary. And like when you see that there's someone else's mask, I was like, wait, oh, so she hypnotized. Because such a cool scene, especially when they get to that room where all the lights are flashing. It was so cool. All the action just in general, like some things I was like, that's not very realistic, but like so much action and intensity and fun. And my favorite moment was when all the family worked together, because yeah, it was cool to see Elastigirl fighting, but it was like maybe too many times fighting herself. I think my favorite part was in the beginning when they were like all fighting as a family. Well, not my favorite part of the movie, but like action wise, when the family, and at the end when they're like fighting together. It's just really cool, because that's where the first Incredible finished, all working together. So that was really cool to see the team back. Only moment in animation I wasn't a fan of was in the first trailer. You saw this at Winston. He's like throwing this ball in this office and he's like talking. His animation looks weird. And I was like, okay, you know, like it's in the trailer, so maybe they'll fix that later. And he was still in the movie and I was like, that was the only moment. And his design was a bit weird. Like her sister was so realistic looking. Like it was crazy. Like even the family also had very like realistic movements and stuff. It was like amazing. And he kind of didn't seem to like be as realistic as her. So that was my only problem with that. My favorite power in this movie is probably Boyd's, like not including the family, the wannabe superheroes, which I thought they were like, okay, I didn't love them to be honest, but Boyd had such cool powers. Like whenever she was doing her thing, it was so entertaining to watch, because it was like when she got inside Violet's like super field protector shield, whatever, I was like, oh wow, she was able to do that. Wow, she's very powerful and stuff. So it was very, very cool to see that also visually. Really, really interesting, and I really like that. One of my favorite moments is when Violet goes and, you know, consoles like the dad, and he's like, you're not good, you're super. And I thought that was so cool, because like she was acting so angsty and like so teen, and to see her like change and later on like help him, I thought that was really cool. I mean, relatable for teens for sure, but I just love how she changed at that point. It was really, really cool. And I'm glad they didn't have much of the raccoon, because they were like in every single promo the raccoon was in it. So this one, it was cool. The only thing with Jack is like I would like lower the amount of powers and stuff like that, sometimes it was like a bit weird. Something I think I might be the only person about that things is, but sometimes I feel like the pacing, like there was things like they would cut scenes very short, and I was like, no, but I want more about that. Like there's this little scenes that I don't want to give anything away, but you see Bob and Violet in this like cafe thing, and it was super short, and I was like, no, I want more, like what happens next. I just kind of felt that at times, like it was just very like snip, 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 snip of a lot of things, and I would like maybe longer scenes of that, but that was just like a very peaky little thing. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click on the bell notification. It makes such a big difference, I promise, and it really helps. And if you like this kind of content, reviews, reactions to animated movies, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!